Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. You know what it is? It's another Raid Shadow Legends video. So on my Twitch channel, people can redeem channel points, Hades Minion points we call it. And with those points you can do a bunch of stuff. But one of those things is to request a certain champion spotlight, certain champion guide. And that's what we're doing today. So one of my faithful minions has requested, oh yeah, Mr. Irresistible, Mr. Ghostborn, King of the Dark Elves. Very serious face. Very serious, man. Anyway, it didn't quite get enough material to cover up his top half, so he made do with what he had. Very cool. What it looks like he's done is actually steal one of the skirts off of the barbarians and tried to make it work as a top, but it just wasn't big enough. So, you know what he's up to. He's flexing. He's flexing. Right, anyway. So, Ghostborn. We're going to do a live build here, but let me just talk you through his kit. Ghostborn's pretty unique, and he's actually kind of underrated. So, firstly, he's Spirit Affinity. There's not that many Spirit Affinities that do what Ghostborn does. Are there any? I don't even know if there's any. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but you'll probably correct me. Maybe Huntsman is close, but he has got a A3, which gives you when booked, and it's only 3 books. It's not crazy, but there are 3, 6. He's actually one of the lowest bookable champions out there, I think, for legendary. So when booked, 100% chance to drop defense on everyone. The big version. That's massive on it by itself. Okay. But he also places increased attack on your allies. So he's doing 2 jobs with the same move, and they're both really cool jobs, okay? But then, just to cap it all off, this debuff cannot be resisted. He is irresistible, guys, and we've seen that already with the solar plexus going on. He is irresistible, 100% drop defense and increased attack, all in one move. If that's all you use him for, he's really solid. Yeah, that's a really solid move for Spider, for any dungeon clear, kind of wave clear, for faction wars, which I'll show in this video. Anything really that you want to put him into, this one move here is solid. Now, the only problem is it's a hit, and he's Spirit Affinity. And this game is kind of lopsided with a whole ton of champions which are magic affinity, yeah? So there's a good chance that he's going to get weak hits, and that's where he kind of lets himself down. If this didn't apply weak hits, it would be the best move in the game for decreased defense. So you can build him with no accuracy at all, and he is insanely good. However, he does have an A1 which also decreases defense, and it's got a high chance to do it. If you book him fully, it's 100% chance to do it. Again, that's massive. That's a massive ability. So A1 on a spider, 100% chance it's going to land. A1 on any boss, 100% chance it's going to land. Even for clan boss, 100% chance you're going to drop defense. It's kind of big. So actually kind of cool. Really cool. He's also got an AoE on his A2, which can put out 100% chance, if booked, to do heal reduction. This is only really good for Arena, for Fire Knights, and I did use him in my Fire Knight team for a long time, by the way, and for places like Faction Wars where you're up against someone that might do heals and cleanses and stuff like that. There's not many places in the game where heal reduction is really that strong, but so because of that, it means that you can just build him no accuracy, full nuke, and just get this ability to land. If you're just building a Marina comp, no accuracy, full nuke. That's what you want to do. He also brings an accuracy aura for faction trips, which is kind of cool as well, actually. So all in all, his kit is really good. I'm going to just throw in these last couple of books. I get free books, you know that, because I'm a content creator. I do buy some books as well, but not as many anymore because I get free books. So this is what I use it for. Champions that perhaps sit in the outskirts of my teams, but might be useful to you. I book them up so you guys can see what they're like. So yeah, so I think what we're going to do, we're going to build him first for the arena, no accuracy, full nuke. Let's just see what sort of damage he can do. In terms of masteries, I've got him set up like this. This is kind of like a dungeon stroke arena build, I'd say. So he has got my kind of like arena setup here, but instead of going into Helm Smasher, which is where I'd put him for pure arena, I've got him into War Master, which means he's viable then in dungeons as well. If I put him into Helm Smasher, you would get a chunk more damage out of his decreased defense ability. Otherwise, I think the rest of the set would be the same. If I want accuracy to land stuff, then obviously we'd move into the support tree. And you might even end up going for this if you wanted all the other stuff to land. But probably not, because the main ability is Irresistible, as we've said. Can't be resisted. So let's go into how I'm going to build him. I always build jewelry first. I'm going to go for attack percentage. I'm going to try and make him hit hard. Attack base stat, attack percentage on the ring. Looks like I've got one rolled up. Perfect. We're going to go for crit damage main stat on the amulet. Some of this stuff I've just taken off him, by the way. If it's got accuracy on it, then we're going to take that because it's going to help us land some of the other stuff. And then we're going to go for an attack-based banner with speed on it. That's the ideal for me here. Really, the ideal is as much speed as I can get. So attack percentage, I'm going to take that. I'm going to roll that up in a second. Let's just see on the first 4 if we land speed. Ideally, what I want to land here is speed once or twice to make this a really good banner. Go on. Didn't get it. Attack percentage, though, is good. So I'll roll that up off cam quickly. We then want to make sure that he's quick. So he needs to go after your speed booster, ideally. He needs to go after your speed booster so that he can land his decreased defense and then the rest of your team starts to go. So we're going to... Or you can make him go after a control champ. So if you're going to go speed booster into someone like an Umbral who's going to provoke, or a Morley that's going to provoke, anyone that's going to do control, he can then go after that, decrease the defense, and then your neutral goes last. So he can be 3rd or 4th in your kind of setup. So we're going to go for speed boots. We're going to need to make sure he's quick. And ideally, substats, because I'm not building accuracy into his build, I just want crit and crit damage. Yeah, so we've got a bunch of people using the same sort of stuff that he wants. This would be nice because it's got accuracy on it as well. Any of this stuff would be nice because it's going to give me a chance to get additional crit damage. So I think they're going to be cool from the Hoarding Boots. For the chest, because I'm going pure offense, I'm going to go attack percentage on the chest. And I'd like to see crit rate. Something like this in that same set will give me a bunch more crit damage. So we'll take that. Now, for most people that are building him, if you don't have quality gear, you're probably going to be going either crit rates or, probably crit rate here. I'm going to try and go crit damage and boost his crit rate through other stats. So there's 2 ways of doing it. Crit damage on your gloves, but crit rate everywhere else. Or crit rate on your gloves and crit damage everywhere else, yeah? But you want to get yourself as close to 100% crit rate as you can. So I'm going to go for crit damage with crit rates. I'm probably not going to get it in like a fancy set. So maybe we can get it in cruel set with some speed as well. Is nice. That's nice. Take that. And now I need to start building this crit rate up. So at the moment I'm only at 50%. I need to find 50% in the rest of this gear, which is a ton. So we're going to try and get speed and crit rate together. I'd like to find one more piece of this cruel set if I can to get the set going. Hoarding, I guess, has got nice gear on because I've built him for something else recently to show you guys. So yeah, crit rate there. So we want 2 more pieces. Just take that off, clean it up as you go. Take that off. We still need, what we're at now, 70. I need 30% more crit rate. So I could use something like this set, critical rate set, which is actually pretty good. And it's going to give me all I need. So 18, 26. I need 30, plus I'm going to gain another 12. So that would give me everything I need. I think that's probably a good way to go. So before I roll out that banner, I'm at 178 speed. I'm over the crit rate. I'm at 246 crit damage. All pretty strong with a decent level of attack. I'm going to roll these couple of bits up quick and then we'll come back in. Okay, so I've rolled some stuff up. This is where the build's ended up. 183. To be honest, he's too slow for my teams. So I need him to be quicker than my nuker, who's going to be Ethos in this setup. So Ethos is at 201. I've got to have him quicker than my Ethos. So we're just going to change some bits around. So this is where it comes back to my kind of mantra, if you like. You want to build accuracy, then speed, then defensive stats if you need them, then damage. So he doesn't need defensive stats because he's pure offense and he's purely about landing his debuffs, but he has to be the right speed. So I can ignore the accuracy requirement. I can ignore the defensive stats requirement, but he has to be fast enough to do his job in the right order. So I have to forego some of my damage here to make sure I get his speed up. So we're going to stick with the same kind of premise of attack percentage with speed, but I'm going to drop down just some of the crit rate and crit damage to make this happen. So we're actually going to go for, see if I can find a set of speed boots with crit rate on them. So at the moment, I'm at, 187. I need to get over 202. So I'm just trying to see if I can find a decent set of crit rate speed boots. They're good. They're very good as well. We'll take those. Okay, so I'm now at 200. So I'm nearly there, and I've got opportunity to glyph. This is where the glyphs come into play. If you're just trying to push someone up 3 or 4 more speed, or 5, nice land there. That's very unusual. So we've ended up at 205, 95% crit rate, 221 crit damage, and 3.4, nearly 3.5k attack. So all of that for a arena build is pretty strong. It's quite high damage. So we can just see what he does. We'll see what he does on his A3 in the arena. So I think maybe I throw myself into... No, we're trying the normal arena. I'm pretty high up already, but at this stage of the week, who knows who I'm up against. So just need to make sure that I'm going to be strong. I guess I'll just take any of these on. Let's take someone on like this. So we're going to go for Ghostborn is going to be... So we'll lose Arbiter. We're going to go Lysandra, Morley, Ghostborn. So I've got a very green heavy team. This is good in the current meta where a lot of people are putting force tanks, force defensive champions into their defensive teams because they know there's a lot of magic offense out there. So this is an interesting kind of switch to the meta that Spirit might become the go-to set of champs if it continues to be such a high level of damage dealers in Magic. So it's the way a meta rolls. You go from one extreme to the other. Quite often happens that way. So we've got speed into control, into drop defense, and then into damage. And I can use any of my damage dealers for that. We're going to try Ethos in this one. So let me just make sure I got these speeds right. We've got 209 here for my control. She's very quick at 284. To be fair, she's very quick, but compared to this lot, she's probably not that quick. Maybe I'll just throw Arbiter in there to make sure I go first. Maybe I'm better off doing this, actually. Arbiter into Lysandra. So what this will do for me is it'll mean I get double increased attack. It's not going to kind of work that way for most people. But just to make sure at this level I do go first, I'm going to run it like this. Let's just imagine Arbiter's not placing this increased attack on. So we get speed. We slow them down. That's my version of control in this setup. We drop the defense and increase our attack. What does this hit for? Like 20 to 30k for a drop defense move. It's big. It's a big slam. We then obviously bring the proper big slams in. 120k. How are you feeling about that? Sit down, fellas, and we do the work. So, I mean, for someone that's dropping defense, he hits damn hard. Yeah, if we're up against someone like a Mountain King here where we know it's going to be a problem, we know Mountain King's going to hit hard, you can just pick your speed up. I am against Valk. I need to be careful of that, actually. Might be messing myself up. Drop their turn meter. Drop their defense. We'll get it on everyone. And then in comes the slams. Now, the slams might not kill these because of the shields they've thrown up. We'll see. Oh, it's quite a lot of damage, though. It's not a full death, which means, obviously, Mr. Crazy goes 100 times. Let's just kill her turn meter. Now we're relying on Ghostborn to do damage, actually. So that the tables have turned. Our drop defense person has got another AoE ability, and this one hits kind of hard. Oh, yeah, it does. Yes, it does. 58k on Mountain King. How you feeling? So Ghostborn is no slouch on the damage, and he obviously does a job for us as well. So for Arena, I think is his best spot, actually. I think is his best place in the game. But if you want to use him somewhere else, we can quickly just change a little bit of his build-up. So I can just switch this into an accuracy banner. Still this one. Prefer one with some speed on it if I can. This is generally the combo I'd go for, accuracy with speed. Something like this. Still at a couple of hundred speed, that's good. All of the rest of it's still good. I probably, with this style of build, for dungeons now, would actually go for an HP chest. And I'd probably be looking for speed and accuracy together, ideally. So something like this. Obviously, I prefer it rolled up, but it's fine. So we're still at around 200 speed. We're still at good crit rate. We've got the accuracy now, and we're starting to get defensive stats. I don't want him to be targeted, because otherwise he'll go down like a wet fish. So where can he play then? So if you're looking for someone to come into your team as a nuke kind of comp, yeah? So drop in defense, but also increasing your attack like this, then he's very good for Spider. He'll do that role really well for you. So can I do it on auto? I think so. I think this will just run on auto. So obviously Bad El's boosting my damage. Gerptuk's boosting my damage. We've then got decreased defense and increased attack going on at the same time. And then my Ghostborns actually don't sync because of the weirdness that's going on. I actually did too much damage, which normally it's just like a straight one-shot kill. But we actually did a bit too much damage because Ghostborns brings that increased attack as well. So this is a good spot for him if you want a decrease defense champion where you're just going to do a kind of fast run. I'm probably going to fail on this run now, to be fair, because I didn't one-shot the spider. And that's the danger with kind of speed teams like this. You either go all in and win, or you can go all in and fail. We might rotate it around in time. We might just about get away with it, but I think we probably won't. So I'm now reliant on the Raw Guards getting their slams back before we lose everybody. But you can see, I mean, we're doing a ton of damage on the spider. We did do it. It's fine. But yeah, this is a place where he plays really well. Albeit, he doesn't bring like the turn meter control of a Stag Knight or a Tyrell. He doesn't bring... So he's much better if you're trying to do it fast. He's not better for like sustained fights. Let's have a look then on Fire Knights. I used to use him on my Fire Knight team a while ago because he's got quite a quick cooldown on his decreased defense. And he also brings heal reduction. So if you don't have Cold Hearts bringing your heal reduction, then he will come in and do that job. So we can do this. I do want a bunch more turn meter control without my Cold Hearts in there. So someone like Nephril would be good. Yeah, I'm showing it with a bunch of legendaries just because I don't want to re-gear like my whole squad. But something like this. Oh no, not that. This is good. Probably. I think. So what he does do here is he brings you that decreased defense. That's the biggest thing that he does. Decreased defense enables everyone in your team to hit harder. He also brings increased attack, which enables all of your team to hit harder, as long as they're attack based. So, and he's also bringing heal reduction, which on the waves is kind of like, well, there's not that many people doing healing on the waves. But you can see here, he's just now waiting to rotate back to his ability. Ideally, you want him to be fastest in your team, other than your speed booster, so that he always gets his decreased defense out before anyone starts attacking. That's your ideal. I've not set it up well enough here. But you can see we've got decreased defense across the board. Nephril's bringing his stun, so that we've just got loads of control. And then Lissandra's bringing a ton of speed. So the waves for me here are really easy. Nuking them down. He's only got single hit stuff, so he's not going to help you massively get through this shield. That's the biggest challenge actually with this team I've got now. I don't have people to get through the shield very easily. Once the shield's down, we actually drop turn meter pretty well, but I don't know if we're going to do it. We'll see. We'll see. Armager needs to get going. There he is. Then that. Perfect. Okay. So from this point, we've just hit heal reduction. Heal reduction's massive for Fire Knights. Makes him a huge benefit for your Fire Knight team. Now he's dropped defense on his A1. 100% chance that he's going to do that. And at this stage, you're just kind of in easy street with a team like this. Because I've got so much turn meter control. I've got nukes coming in. Not nukes, actually. I've got just some reasonable damage coming in. He hits kind of hard. 16k. It's not bad. Nothing crazy, but not bad, considering I've now got him in an accuracy build. But you can see how effective he is in this dungeon. He was my decreased defense champion and heal reduction champ for quite a while, actually, until I went for like much quicker comps. So probably when I was doing around a 2.5 minute comp, he was the most. He wasn't my best champion for it, but he was just the most consistent for me, actually. So it just gave me another heal reduction so that we didn't get that big heal regeneration coming from the Fire Knight. So good champion for this dungeon. Good for Spider. Insane, actually. I know this is easy, but he's insane for Force Keep because he's got so much about him that's just going to help you with that Force Keep stage. He's also good for Spirit Keep because he's got the heal reduction. So actually 2 of the keeps there, he's going to do a bit of work for you. He can come into Ice Golems and do a good job as well, and dragons, but obviously the affinity for dragons is poor. So although he's kind of good for dragons, giving you that increased attack at the same time as dropping defense, there's a good chance you're going to get some weak hits off there. So for Faction Wars, he does feature in my Faction War teams. I tend to run it on stage 20 here. So he brings me my increased accuracy. I've got no other worthwhile auras here, so he's kind of good for that. And we can just run this through here. So it gives me my decreased defense. We've got quite a few magic affinities here, so actually we've kind of didn't do brilliant, but he still brings me my decreased defense. This is easily the toughest wave. This wave is a nightmare. You kind of want to be able to smash some damage into this wave. He's going to go down probably on these AoEs. That's why I've got my Doom Priest in there. Not Doom Priest, what's her face? What's her name? Don't know. The Void one who picks people up. So I'm sure they just killed him through an unkillable there. That was weird. Maybe they ripped it off, I'm not sure. I feel like they just killed him through an unkillable move. But anyway, he brings decreased defense. He brings AoE damage for all of your Faction War requirements. And he can hit pretty hard as well. But, I mean, stage 20, they literally just rip through your teams. And bearing in mind, rather than like a big sustain team here, I've just got like a team that farms it quite fast. Sometimes they're totally dumb on auto, but that's the nature of what we do. And we just got a reasonably high resist champ here so that she doesn't keep getting all of the rubbish stuff going on. And then she kills herself because she's a void legendary, guys. Anyway, you can see how it's working. So he, for me, is one of the better legendaries in the game for consistency. Like consistent value across everywhere in the game. He's not top tier. He's just like consistent value. But definitely, I think his best spot is the arena. And he's a lot of fun to play around with because you can build him in a lot of different ways and get some value from him. So yeah, guys, this has been my Ghostborn video, my Ghostborn guide. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll catch you in a video soon.